Good afternoon and welcome to PlayOnSports.com. We're up here bringing you live Division III Men's Soccer Championships in the North Coast section in Boonville, California. We are at Tom Smith Field here at Anderson Valley High School. Matchup today, the 10-6-3 Anderson Valley Panthers. They're taking on the visiting Leadership Griffin. They're coming up from San Francisco, California. We have a heck of a matchup. Leadership, they're at 6-5-3. These two teams have not yet faced one another. So with me now is John Henry. I'm Andrew Lockhart. John, what's going on in this game?
Well, I think we traveled pretty far to get here to cover this pretty talented matchup between these two teams. And Leadership also traveled all the way from San Francisco, about a 2-hour drive for them, to come up here to Anderson Valley, Boone, California, to match up versus the Panthers. And we're going to have quite the game on our hands. Both teams play more of a possession-style game. The Panthers try to work that ball through the middle and kind of attack right there, keep the field wide, keep their midfielders open, but play through that middle mainly. And on the other side of the ball, the Griffin, they try to get the ball through the middle, push it to the outside and kind of run up the outside, fling it, or excuse me, not fling, but cross it into the middle for their oncoming runners. And that's their game plan. That's what's worked for them all year, and that's what they're going to stick to today here in Boone, California.
Boonville, California. And it is beautiful in scenic settings here. The ball is going to drift out of bounds right now. Leadership, they're in the black, white, and green. Anderson Valley, they're in the black, gold, and brown. So Leadership, they're going to be heading towards the left side of your screen. Anderson Valley is in the brown and gold. As you can see, they have possession right now. They're going to be going towards the right. We're right down here at field level here today. Free kick is up. It's going to go down, headed back into the middle of play. It's going to drift over towards the far side of your screen. Anderson Valley has possessions. They wanted a penalization on that. None will come. Brought down by Leadership. Crossing over to the middle. The goalkeeper is going to pick that up. Goalkeeper for Anderson Valley is Christian Mendoza. He's going to boot this one up to about midfield. Leadership's going to take possession. Still at midfield.
Great
this ball.
touch.
Cross back over to the middle. Leadership still has it. Taken away now.
And that was Kevin Flores here on the near side with some nifty moves to kind of squeeze his way up the line and try to make something happen.
Leadership's going to toss it in here. Didn't like what he saw. That's Haro. That one's headed back out defensively by Anderson Valley.
And this is what Leadership likes to do. Get that ball forward, get it outside, and try to get a big cross into the middle. It's oncoming traffic.
Yeah, we were speaking to the head coaches of both teams before the game. Both teams excited about what's going to develop out here. Ball is streaking down the right side of the field now. The Panthers have it. It's going to be slide and kicked out. Headed back in quickly, though. They're going to look to make a pass into the middle here. Crossed over. Picked up, though, by Leadership. Scrum in the middle. Still anybody's ball. Picked up by Leadership defensively. Just booted away.
And Leadership's got to do a better job of clearing that ball and marking up in the back.
Oh, just like that. Crossed over into the middle. Some defensive miscues by Leadership on that play. That ball just easily tossed in.
Quick strike here early by Anderson Valley. They're playing at home, and they don't want Leadership to even think at any point that they're going to have a shot at this one. Doing a great job of getting on the board early. Anderson Valley. And like you said, Andrew, I think you hit it right on the head. Leadership kind of lost a couple marks there in the back. Right as we were talking about it, the previous play, the same thing kind of happened. They kind of miskicked it, but shoot, either way, Anderson Valley on top, 1-0, just a few minutes into this match.
Yeah, I think we diagnosed that correctly. A couple defensive miscues. You know, I'll tell you that Anderson Valley definitely has the home field advantage there for many reasons. Got the home crowd in front of them here. Tried to keep that one in bounds, was Omar Solano. So Leadership will toss it back in. But not only that, but we're playing on an all-natural grass field here. Leadership is not accustomed to that. Almost all the teams they play are on the artificial turf. This ball is punted skyward, tossed up. Looks like Anderson Valley, the Panthers, are going to cover this one pretty well. Leadership's going to take a whack at it, though, and that will go straight to the keeper, Christian Mendoza.
And you mentioned it, Andrew. Coach Perieff talking about how a lot of the schools in the San Francisco area in the city are becoming that the fake turf, if you will, and it's great. You know, it lasts longer. It's low maintenance, but for the actual gameplay on that turf field, the game goes so much more quickly. That ball, if you just mistouch it a little bit, kick it a little too hard, it's going to roll out of bounds. On the flip side of that coin, you got this natural grass. We were walking on it earlier. It's a little longer. You can tell they just cut it, but they get enough rain up here to keep it nice and green. Little long cut, and it's going to slow down that ball a lot, which is kind of a game changer when you're not used to it.
Yeah, the ball definitely gets less traction. This one is kicked out. That will go against Leadership, so the Panthers will throw it back in overhead now. It's going to be tossed in by number 5. That's Walberto Castellum. Crosses over to the other side of the field, might actually roll all the way out. They do manage to keep it in bounds. I hear a whistle, though. That did go out.
I think we actually got a penalty.
Oh, excuse me.
That's quite all right. Either way, it's going to be Leadership ball, and really their first good opportunity. If they're able to put one in here right about the penalty spot, try to use some of their height. I'm surprised Jairo Haro is not up in the mix.
One of the taller gentlemen on the field.
He is. He's about weighing in. I don't know what he's weighing in at, but I would guess he's about 6'3", 6'4", playing the left back position for Leadership.
Yeah, I didn't ask him. Either way, big body out on the field. They can take advantage of that. We should mention, too, John Henry, that this is a beautiful field, not only the natural grass, but also the scenic mountains in the background.
Yeah.
We're looking at Leadership with a chance here. Panthers are going to smartly take advantage of the possession, kick it away. Bit of a contest here on the near side of the field. Panthers will hold on to it, though, and they find an outlet up to midfield.
And both teams here kind of feeling each other out. Anderson Valley able to finish an early one, but by no means count Leadership out on this game. We've got plenty of soccer to play ahead of us, and they've struck back a few times already, trying to get that ball into the upper third so they can set up some kind of attack. As Coach mentioned, they like to work it through the middle, bring it outside, and cross that ball in. The couple of attacks that they have had, they've been really low on numbers, so they need to get a better job pushing forward. And I'm mainly talking about the midfield and even the defense. As we mentioned, Jairo Haro, he can jump in on a throw-in or a long cross and use his tall frame to the advantage of this Leadership team.
Leadership has a steal. They're going to whistle that one, though.
That's number 7, Bayardo Estrada, drawing the foul. Just using his body to get in a good position. Didn't do anything too fancy, but forcing the foul and the best opportunity we've seen so far for this Leadership squad.
Yeah, they've looked a little off so far offensively, especially when they're in deep. Opportunity to strike here, though. It's going to be Kevin Flores taking the kick. Got a couple of men deep down in front. Kick is up. Ooh. It is blocked by the keeper. He has to dive over to the far side of the field to get a hold of that one, and he does.
And Christian Mendoza saving this one. That was a huge save for this home team. Anderson Valley, kind of they're wiping their brow. And that one was a great shot on the free kick by Leadership.
Mendoza, the keeper, all league, of course. We should mention that here. Leadership has possession once again. That's Flores up in front. Flores goes down, and the Panthers will kick it away. It's going to go back to Leadership possession. Punted deep down back in front of the goal now.
Dangerous.
Leadership's going to manage to come out with it, though. They're looking for a crossover to the middle here. They're deep in the far side of the field. That one punted behind the net. That'll go out. Mendoza's going to kick this one back in.
And on that last free kick for Leadership, obviously the best chance they've had, but they need to do a better job of getting forward. Even on that last play, they were trying to push the ball outside, but even if the outside midfielder or forward gets that ball across, they had nobody in the middle, but they did have their 4 defenders back and a couple midfielders. You can't afford to have 6 people playing defense when you're trying to score a goal.
See Coach Sparks on the far side of the field directing the Panthers. Talking to Coach Sparks before the game, he says this is a strong team down the middle. We've definitely seen some of that, especially from Mendoza as keeper.
Yeah, and one thing to look out for, something he mentioned, the couple losses that came their way this year and even a tie or two, they came, in his opinion, because this team can be temperamental. And by that, we kind of asked, what do you mean by that? And he said they can either play really great soccer and they can be this 10-win team, but in a few of their losses, they're really games they should have won. They gotta focus on finishing, which they've done perfectly so far today. But here early, they're kind of sitting back after that goal and a little content. And if they keep playing that way, Leadership's going to be able to put one in.
Yeah, we should mention Leadership's unlikely path to get here in the first place. Leadership faced off against Summerfield Waldorf to get to the second round. They beat Drew at that point, then beat Southwark. Southwark had beaten the #1 seed Geyserville. That's how Leadership got all the way to the finals here.
And Geyserville, I believe, was a 12-win team. They were 12-4-2 on the year, the #1 seed. And when you see that #1 seed go down, it kind of sparks life into the 2 and 4 seeds, excuse me, which we're watching here today.
We should mention it's head coach Perry's first year with the team as well. So obviously a strong performance from him as he takes the reins here. It's a small school, we should mention that. Down in San Francisco, Leadership says the school's about the size of a hallway on most campuses.
And that was in Coach's own words, so.
I'm quoting. I'm not paraphrasing either.
That was exactly what he said, and he kind of chuckled when he said it, but he's really proud of his boys. You can see it in the smile. He's happy to be here, and that translates onto the field. That energy, that positive energy, just grateful to be here, sticking with your game plan, not doing anything different, just enjoying the sport and being grateful that you have this opportunity to even play.
Leadership had another opportunity. They were streaking down the field with a lot of speed. That was Kevin Flores again. I think we're going to see a lot of him off Leadership. They lost it, though, to the defense of the Panthers. The Panthers are going to take it the other way, and that one's going to be kicked out of bounds. So I think they're going to have the opportunity to throw it overhead here. Last touch was against Leadership.
And as much as both of these teams say that they try to play through the middle with a possession-style game, we haven't really noticed either team real settling in yet, or taking kind of control of that center. A lot of times with that type of team, a Barcelona-esque kind of team where they try to possess the midfield, you got to be able to control the midfield and not let the other team really touch the ball too much in that area.
Kick is up, crossing towards the middle. That is smartly headed away by the Leadership defense. And he's going to take it right back down the field. Leadership still has it along the sideline, crosses it over. That was Bayardo Estrada taking it all the way down the field. He looks for Jordy Lopez. Lopez still trying to pick up possession on the far side. He can't come up with it, though. It's going to be tossed back in by Anderson Valley.
And Jordy Lopez alongside Eduardo Sanchez playing up top for this Leadership squad. They've got quite the task ahead of them. Every time that they've come down with the ball, there's been at least 3, 4, even 5 Anderson Valley defenders. And if that's the case, we mentioned a few times that midfield help, like #7 Bayardo Estrada, doing a great job getting up the field, bringing the ball up the field into that attacking third. And if they can connect that last pass or two, they're in business.
Absolutely. And something else of note, Coach Sparks was saying before the game that Anderson Valley is not generally a high-scoring team, more of a possession team. And he said if they execute their game plan as they're expecting to do here, they might run away with it. But they know they're up against a tough leadership squad who had a good season and on top of that, a great playoff run. So we see the ball contested right around midfield. Panthers are still going to maintain possession on the far side. They're going to pass it backwards now. Kick straight across to midfield. That's going to go to Gualberto Gastelum. He's going to pass it up. He's got a man open on the right side of the field. He's just going to take a quick kick at the keeper. That'll be pick up. That's David Venegas on leadership. We haven't really called his name yet. It's going to boot this one. It's going to arrive right around midfield, headed backwards. Panthers are going to have it. They're going to give it up to leadership, though. Down goes a player. That's Eduardo Sanchez on leadership. So leadership's going to have a kick here. They're going to toss it back down. That's going to get picked up by the goalkeeper on the Panthers.
And Kevin Flores looking for the quick restart there, trying to sneak one of his forwards through. And a decent ball, actually. I think he caught his own players off guard as well.
Picked up at midfield. That's Flores again. Panthers are going to take back possession, though. Still going around midfield. Leadership's going to take the reins. They're going to pass it back, look for a setup here. Got a man open downfield. There's one in front of the net. It is taken away. Still on the far side, managing to keep it in bounds. That's good footwork there. That's Gualberto Gastelum. Excuse me. No, that's Jordi Lopez, excuse me, from leadership. He's going to lose that ball, though. It's going to go back to midfield.
And you mentioned a brilliant playoff run by leadership. And just to go into that a little further, they were winners of the Bay Central League in that small tournament that they had. It's a pretty small league. And as far as coach knew, this is the farthest that anyone from the Bay Central League has ever made it in this Northern Section tournament. So they're really playing with, you know, nothing to lose. They're 2 hours away from home on a field they're not used to. I mean, never count these guys out of this one, especially talking to Coach Sanchez. We mentioned just how passionate he seemed about being here today.
Great steal by Kevin Flores. He's really dangerous. He's going to take it back up the field. He's got a couple of men on him. He's going to pass that one back, though. They managed to hold on to it. What a move by Kevin Flores to take that ball away. He's so fast out there as well.
He's very good with the ball, and he's the one that's been on all the free kicks as well. So he's one playing that central mid position that if he can kind of calm this game down, sometimes it only takes one player to be able to settle in here, as leadership's got a good chance.
Kevin Moore with a strong boot, and he nearly shelved that ball in the top left. That's an iron boot from that young man right there.
Sophomore Kevin Mora, about a 40-yarder there if we're calling football. But that thing just kept carrying, and the keeper for Anderson Valley, Christian Mendoza, caught a little bit off guard, had to punch it out of bounds, and it's going to be a leadership corner here. Another great opportunity as leadership just keeps knocking on the door.
Yeah, they certainly haven't taken themselves out of the equation at this point. That's going to go easily into the hands of Christian Mendoza. Might be picked off here, and it is. Leadership with another strong play. Eric Fuentes on the ball. That's going to get kicked out of bounds. So we should mention really quick how Anderson Valley got here. They had the first round bye. They were the #2 seed in this division. They beat Sonoma Academy and then dropped Fremont Christian to get all the way to the championships here. They're having a heck of a season too. That 10-6-3 record. Very strong showing from Anderson Valley. It's going to be on the far side of the field. Anderson Valley looking to keep it away from leadership. They will do so. Leadership's going to knock it back out of bounds right to our left here.
Some smart touches in the back. A little bit of dangerous play, but these guys know what they're capable of doing out there, and we got to be trust that they know what they're doing.
Great moves to keep this ball in. It's going to drift over towards the leadership goal. Keeper Venegas, he's just going to boot that one out.
I think Venegas was waiting for that ball to come into the box, but that long natural grass field. Didn't quite make it to him. He had to boot it out.
It does slow the ball down quite a bit. Definitely a lot more traction on this natural grass field. Play in front of the net. It's going to go back now. That'll be to Gualberto Gastelum. He's going to lose it, though. It's going to go back the other way. Gastelum's going to take it right back. Contest is going to end up in Leadership's favor. Leadership still maintaining possession. They've got it right about the center. They're going to kick it off towards the left-hand side. That's Tirado that has it in the corner. He's looking for a crossover, someone to outlet to.
And credit Bayardo Estrada with starting that play on the near side again. He's been so dangerous and just really almost a spark plug for this Leadership team. If I can call it, if I may, I'm going to say this Leadership team is going to get one here pretty soon, and it might not come off of the foot of Estrada, but it's going to be off a play he started.
Ambitious predictions from John Henry, and I am going to tend to agree with you. We have Flores here taking it away again. Flores, another great play to take that ball straight up the middle. Managed to be held on, though, by Christian Mendoza. Mendoza, such a good keeper to stay on top of that play. Make the save. He's going to boot it past midfield. That's actually going to end up with Leadership. Leadership's going to hold on to it. They're going to look for an outlet right around midfield here. It's taken away, though. Ooh, and there's some contact made. That was Bayardo Estrada.
Estrada, that spark plug. You know, one way or the other, we're calling his name. That wasn't the smartest foul, but an okay job. You know, sometimes a lot of coaches teach you got to either let the ball go by or let the guy go by, but not both.
I believe that was Edson Ferreira who got the worst of that contact. Ball is booted down to Leadership. It's going to be picked up, though, by Venegas. He'll send it back the other way. Contest up in midfield. We're seeing a lot of plays right around midfield here, John Henry.
Yeah, I think the goal for both these teams, as we mentioned earlier, is to kind of gain control of this midfield. And Anderson Valley doing a good job. Just string together a few passes. You don't always have to kick it forward. There it sneaks through, though, and could be good for Anderson Valley.
Up the middle, Leadership's going to hold on, though. Looked like Juan Lua had an opportunity up the middle. It's going to go back to Flores the other way. Flores is on his horse. He's looking for the middle. Can't connect with anybody, though. He was looking for help. Couldn't find it. Also with him was Eduardo Sanchez. He was pretty well wrapped up in the middle, though. Good job by the Anderson Valley defense to shut that play down. Comes back the other way. We're seeing a lot out there defensively from Jairo Haro.
So dangerous, number 20, Kevin Flores, for this Leadership team. He was trying to do a little too much there, I think. And we'll go back to that natural grass versus artificial turf situation. And if he's on the artificial turf and being able to touch that ball, you know exactly where it's going to go. You don't get any surprise bounces. But here in the natural grass, I think that one just kind of got stuck up a little bit, took an extra little hop, and he was dispossessed. But credit that Anderson Valley Panthers defense with being able to jump on it and clearing it.
Don't have the advantage of a scoreboard here, but we're about halfway through the first half of regular time. Anderson Valley still maintaining the 1-0 lead. Leadership's going to have a chance here. It's going to be smartly booted away. Jairo's going to try and make a play on it, and he does. Great play to keep that ball inbounds. It's going to go right back out, though. He's going to have to throw it over his head. Toss goes to Anderson Valley. Whistled, though. Kick from Anderson Valley. That's going to go a bit astray. I think he might have been trying to connect with Omar Solano out there. That ball rolls far and away, though. So it's going to be a kick by the keeper.
Should mention that for Anderson Valley, coming in on a substitution was Pancho Lievanos, the forward. junior coming in. He tried to make something happen on that last play. Some fresh legs, as you mentioned, about halfway through this first half.
A lot of back and forth on this field so far, pretty evenly matched, aside from the goal scored earlier that was just sort of a broken play by the leadership defense. They almost looked like they weren't ready for that one. Just got caught flat-footed.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's, if you look at the scoreboard, you'd say, oh, you know, leadership's down, but they've really come back strong after that first strike from the Panthers, and they've played well. Difference is just that finishing touch, which a lot of the times you watch a soccer game and it'll be 1-0, and the losing side will say, well, we should have won that one. You know, we had the ball in their half 90% of the time. We had all these shots. We had the crossbar, we had the post. But if it doesn't hit that net, it doesn't count. So they've got to be able to put one away here. Granted, we still got plenty of time left. They shouldn't be stressing about it. Just play their game, as Coach mentioned. But they do have to, at some point, be able to find the back of the net.
I know the issue is in soccer, the goals are so far and few in between. Rather few and far in between. I think that's the turn of phrase.
Yeah, whatever way you want to
put it there. But either way, you don't want to give up cheap ones, because sometimes they can be the most painful ones and they do not come back easily. Either way, I've been really impressed so far from leadership with the play of Estrada, and not only Estrada, but Flores down the middle has just looked great for the Griffin.
I'd have to agree with you on that one. Those two guys have been the playmakers out there. Defense staying strong after that first kind of blunder, mistake.
Right in front of that, it's tossed up, and that's headed in. What a setup, and what great positioning on the far side of the field.
And I think that one's actually going to be coming back. There was an offsides call on the near side by the referee. Man, that was a close one, but Pancho Lievanos going for the side volley, or the half volley, rather. Kind of miskicked it, but cleaning up the trash, just waiting off guard. Able to finish it, but offsides, unfortunately.
Well, Anderson Valley is not going to give up that easily, though. They're going to try and give it a second whack here. Keeper's going to have to come out for that one. Venegas swoops it up, prevents the player from getting to that ball first. Going to go back the other way, though. Smartly kicked away. That was Anderson Valley's Justin Soto. Leadership possession in their own zone. That's picked off. That's Omar Solano.
Man, talk about lighting a fire under someone. I mean, out of nowhere, Anderson Valley, the crowd's back into it. All of a sudden, they are pressuring, high pressure up top, trying to put one in. I think they're a little upset about that offside call.
Yeah, an unfortunate offside call for them. This ball's right in front of us. That'll go out of bounds. But it certainly seemed to breathe a breath of fresh air into Anderson Valley. They're playing with a little bit of a fire under them right now. Kicked out defensively, so leadership's going to have the opportunity to throw it in overhead. We've got pretty full bleachers here, John Henry.
We do a good turnout. Good turnout locally and from San Francisco on both sides.
It is a nice drive making it up here from the bay. But we have standing room only situation here.
And that's number 15, Chuy Sanchez, working with Gonzalez, Lievanos, through the middle, dispossessed, and now leadership trying to make something happen. They got to put all the pieces together. They've gotten a couple guys working here and there, but they've got to all work together as a team, put that last pass together, get in a decent cross, and either a header or just a toe poke or hit it off your back, whatever it takes. A lot of the times the goals aren't pretty out here, but goal's a goal.
You don't get points for style, that's for sure. But I'll tell you, I agree with you, John Henry. I think if the defense can shore up their game a little bit, they had that lapse. It was called offsides. That was a good break for leadership. That first goal, obviously, something of a fluke, I think, defensively for leadership. They just kind of broke down on that play. But offensively, they looked really solid. And here comes another opportunity, crossed over, contested in front of the net. The keeper had to get in on that one. Mendoza with a good job. wrapping up those guys up front.
And coming up from defense to take that kick, Kevin Mora. We mentioned his name before on that big free kick he took that was
He nearly
knocked
posted
away.
it in himself.
That was scary. If I was a keeper on that one, kept floating like that, I'd start sweating a little bit.
That's why you're not the keeper, John Henry.
I know.
Fast up the middle. It's going to be taken away by Hirohiro. He's going to boot it deep back down. That's actually going to go close to on net. It's going to be easily picked up, though, by Mendoza. Streaking for it was Eduardo Sanchez, excuse me. He couldn't get there in time, though. Keeper beat him. Booted back down Leadership. They've still got number 10, Eduardo Sanchez, out there. He's waiting for somebody to connect it to him. He's certainly positioning himself smartly out there. It's going to go back now towards Anderson Valley. The Panthers are going to boot it up. Got a bit of a foot race here. That's Leovanos. Got it, and it's just going to be picked up.
Well done on the counter there. Anderson Valley picking that ball off, taking 1-2 passes to get it up to Leovanos, who, like you said, was in a foot race there. Good job on the defensive side by Leadership. But one more good touch, and he's past the defenders and one man to beat.
Looks like Leadership's going to hold on to it here right around midfield. We've seen much of this game develop right in the midfield. Both teams looking to take possession, set up their offensive strikes.
Oh, it's going to be a handball here right in the middle. Going to be a Panthers free kick. Now, if you're the Panthers, there's really no sense in just booting this one up. I'd like to see some kind of short pass here. Something that where you can start controlling the game here.
They opt not to do so. Loop it down instead. They still maintain possession, however. I think they're looking for an outlet up the middle of the field. Definitely some contact made there. Nothing blown on the whistle, though. A couple of players rolling over after a tassel at midfield. Ball on the far side.
I think the referee knew there was a foul, but he wasn't quite sure who to call it on, so he just kind of let it
maybe
play
an
itself out
offset there, I guess.
Yep, offsetting fouls. I'm not sure if you're quite allowed to call that, but I think that's what he was thinking there.
Oh, I'm not calling it then.
Either is the referee, so the play continues on either way. Leadership now with the throw-in on that far side right into the sun. Looks like a bunch of shadows out there, but we're going to get some numbers for you in 1 second. That was Estrada on the far side. Ball kind of bouncing back and forth, and Panthers come out with it, but really no control yet maintained by either side. That possession game not happening so far.
Streaking down the field now. That's Leovanos. It manages to be taken away by Leadership, though. Good job by Leadership to shut down Leovanos. He was really streaking down the far side of the, or rather the near side of the field.
Dangerous ball here.
Keeper comes out. Manages to get low and on top of that ball. Great job by Leadership's Venegas once again. Venegas has been solid back there.
I believe
when called upon.
Sorry about that. I believe it was Eric Martinez from the midfield position coming up, putting that perfect ball onto the foot of his forward. Just can't quite find the back of the net. But Eric Martinez winning all league honors this year, along with his teammate Justin Soto, the senior, and the keeper Mendoza, as we mentioned earlier.
Solano along the far side. He's looking for a cross to the middle. Leadership is going to head that one out, though. We're about half an hour into the first half of this contest. Leadership's going to clear it back down. Still in the offensive zone. Leadership with an opportunity here if they can make it to the ball first, and it's going to be a foot race not quite in time. It's going to be picked up by Anderson Valley. They're going to take it back the other direction. Man brought down at midfield. They're going to whistle that one. So Leadership's going to get a kick here. Sun is setting down in the west. Plenty of daylight left here. Once again, we're up in Boonville, California. Anderson Valley maintains a 1-0 lead over Leadership. Leadership coming up from the Bay. San Francisco, California, not a bad drive for them. It is awfully scenic, a little bit windy though, I should mention.
I guess it depends who you have driving there.
Yeah, it depends who's driving, John Henry. Booted by the keeper. Leadership's going to manage to get ahead on it though. It's going to be a bit of a contest here. Anderson Valley's going to hold on to it. They got a pass right up to the middle of the field. Good job setting up by Anderson Valley. The Panthers, they're looking for an open man here. Looks like Solano's going to have it. He's going to kick it down here. It's going to be taken away. Pancho Leovanos, he almost had something going there.
And since he's come in to this game, Leovanos has been able to really make something happen, disrupt that Leadership defensive four. Doing a great job just using his speed and skill. And I like when you're watching a player out there, and one play he's running full seam to run down the ball. The next play he steps on the ball, picks his head up, and looks for a nice pass or through ball to maintain that possession. Seems like a real smart player out there. Just watching him for a few minutes coming in off the bench, Leovanos.
Yeah, it seems like what they like to do is just throw the ball down and let him win a foot race because he's such a fast guy. We've seen that play set up a couple times from a player like Solano.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he breaks through one of these. I mean, he's had so many, not so many chances, but decent quality chances.
Yeah, definitely quality ones.
Yeah.
Leadership's going to try and pass it on the far side of the field to get something cooking here. It's going to be booted away, though. That's going to go out of bounds to the right of the net.
Vladimir Tirado trying his luck from quite a ways out. But I think the saying goes, if you don't shoot, you can't score. So you can't ever get too upset with someone who's shooting that ball, because that's what you need to put it in the back of the net, one way or the other.
About 36 minutes in, 35 minutes into the first half of this contest. Once again, Anderson Valley still up 1-0 on that early goal. Not yet a couple minutes into that game when that goal happened. Good attempt to try and keep that ball in play.
It's tough when it's spinning like that. Kind of jumped off the grass and popped up. Either way, it's going to be a Leadership corner right into the sun. Could be trouble for the keeper, Mendoza. Look for him to make sure his marks are all set, because he's going to have a tough time reading this one off the kick.
Leadership's corner kick is up in the middle, headed away by Anderson Valley. Right back to the man from the corner kick, though, right onto the far side of the goal. That was Eduardo Sanchez, I think. We've seen Sanchez position himself nicely all game. He had that low kick on the far side. Managed to be picked up by Mendoza, though. Mendoza, not an easy goalkeeper to get by.
And Leadership, we've mentioned, I mean, you've seen it watching at home. They've had plenty of chances, plenty of quality chances too, and they've just got to be able to finish one in the back of the net.
The far side, that ball I think is out of bounds now.
And the referee's going to call a corner for this Anderson Valley, and just like that, we're going the other way. All of a sudden, the Panthers are knocking on the door.
Well, Anderson Valley's going to have an opportunity here. It's just taken away by Leadership, though. Strong play on the far side to get that ball away.
It's Bayardo Estrada playing, and he's just such a workhorse out there. He's been on this side, the other side, top of each box, playing defense, offense, everything. Gotta love to have a player like that. We're going to have a yellow card here. Must have been something that he said, but I believe it was number 19 for Anderson Valley, Fernando Ferreira. He's going to have to take a seat, as it's a mandatory substitution when you do get a yellow card in the high school level. So he's going to go take a rest, cool off, think about what he said. It's almost like a timeout, you know. doesn't ever go away. Timeouts never go away through our live. So he's got a timeout. Think about that one. Either way, leadership.
Big Boot's going to get carried away from Anderson Valley. Managed to be held in by the keeper. He puts himself in a bit of a dangerous position. He was nearly in the corner on that one.
Good smart play there by Mendoza, just getting that one out of the danger zone, as he mentioned.
Well, if you're the keeper, you certainly don't want the ball to get away from you if you go out that far, because you've got a wide open net in front of you. But smart play and a smart keeper is Mendoza. Far side of the field, at about midfield, they're going to have a battle for it. It looks like it's going to go in leadership's favor. They're going to toss it overhead. Tossing it in will be Mora. Mora with that golden kick we saw earlier.
And he's going to have another chance here from that far side, almost like a corner kick, but a better angle. I think that's exactly how you should play this one, Andrew. Line everyone up top of the box, get that height up. And I still like to see Jairo get up in the mix with his height.
Now they're not going to use Jairo, but they are going to boot it in, up, and whoa, just wide. And that is leaving it all on the field.
Keeper coming out, getting a finger on that one. You saw him kind of come through the bunch out of nowhere, exactly what he's got to do. And it's going to result in a corner kick for leadership. And that's not easy to do as Christian Mendoza comes flying off his line to punch that one away.
It was Edson Ferreira also making a very
valiant effort,
very bold maneuver. This kick is up in the middle. Opportunity. Keeper gets there first, slaps his hands down on it, and he does come up with it. So another great stop by Mendoza. Mendoza, he's been a workhorse for his team in the backfield here today.
And Christian Mendoza, I mean, a lot of guys, a lot of keepers they have a little more inches than he does. He's not that tall out there, but he is playing like he's 6'4", 6'5", and like he's got no worries.
As we mentioned, he is all league. Great season from him, and that's going to end regular time here. And you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. That program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. And also, PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at playonsports.com on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com. I'm Andrew Lockhart alongside John Henry. We've seen a pretty equal matchup here, I think it's safe to say, John, as we end up the first half of regular time here. Anderson Valley does maintain a 1-0 lead over leadership. We are in the championship game, Division III in the North Coast section. Early goal from Anderson Valley. They struck first. Caught leadership a little off guard in the opening minutes of the game.
And I think the way you put that was exactly how it happened. I mean, we were still kind of getting players' numbers and figuring out what's going on today, and leadership just kind of caught on their heels as Anderson Valley was able to sneak one in there. Real tough situation for leadership. Now you're playing from behind. You almost sometimes feel a little frantic about, trying to, we need a goal, but you want to be able to play your game still. I think both teams have been pushing the ball up and down the field a little too much instead of maintaining that possession through the middle of the field. They're kind of going for that long ball. And then on the leadership side of the ball, they need to work on moving their defenders up as they're attacking. That last kick put up by the defender for leadership who's taken those kicks, Kevin Mora, he was able to put one in, and each time the keeper from Anderson Valley, Christian Mendoza, coming out and balking that ball away, you've got a guy, Jairo, who's maybe 6'3", 6'4", tallest guy on the field. Get him in the mix. Get that head on the ball. Use your frame. Like I said, get your elbow on the ball. I don't care if the ref doesn't see it. Whatever works. But you got to put the ball in the net, and they're going to have to pull out all the stops here in the second half.
And I'll tell you, John, a goal in soccer does not come easily, so there's this element of zen to it. You can't really force it to happen. You've just
Right.
got to go out. You just got to play the best game that you possibly can. So Anderson Valley has a 1-0 lead over Leadership. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a moment here on PlayOnSports.com. Back in a minute. Welcome back to PlayOnSports.com. I'm Andrew Lockhart alongside John Henry. We're here at Anderson Valley High School up in Boonville, California. We're bringing you the North Coast Division III Men's Soccer Championships. Anderson Valley has a 1-0 lead over Leadership. Anderson Valley, they're in the brown and yellow, almost a gold color, I would say. They'll be on the right side of your screen going towards the left. Leadership is in green and white. They're on the left, and they'll be streaking towards the right side of your screen. We saw an early goal from Eric Martinez on Anderson Valley to put his team up 1-0. Besides that, it's been pretty neck and neck. John, go ahead and weigh in on this game.
I mean, I think you said it, neck and neck is right what we're looking at. Even though one goal does separate these two teams, this one, I doubt that it's going to be the final score of this game is going to be 1-0. Leadership has had 2, maybe 3 opportunities, real quality opportunities as well to put one away. And then Anderson Valley, Eric Martinez, as you mentioned, we definitely wanted to give credit to him for his goal. I mean, came early in this game, kind of set the tone early, and Anderson Valley kind of digging themselves out of a hole here as we're in the second half. We're kind of on the down slope for this game, and both teams got a long fight ahead of them.
We're at Tom Smith Soccer Field here. Beautiful and scenic Boonville up in Anderson Valley High School. Sun is starting to set a little bit. I don't think that's going to have too much of an effect on the players, perhaps. We are at field level, though. We're getting a good glimpse of the sun as it sets over the hills in the far side of your screen. This one's going to head up right towards us. Tried to play that one, John.
You played it well.
I played it right to Danny Espinoza. He's going to toss it in overhead.
Good touch.
Leadership's going to come up with it. Picked off, though. Espinosa, I believe, got a piece of that one again. And he will toss it in. Finds the head of his teammate. Kicked off by Leadership, though, and that's going to go right back out of bounds right towards us.
And it's always funny here in the beginning of the second half. Teams kind of restart. They're trying to feel each other out again. Everybody's got their full energy back, and they're just going back and forth early in the second half.
Ticked out on the far side of the field. We should mention, though, a standout player, at least from my perspective, was Christian Mendoza on Anderson Valley. Leadership had some solid offensive opportunities, John Henry, and Mendoza seemed to answer that bell every single time.
Yeah, and a lot of the times the ball was kicked right to him, but half your job as a keeper, or maybe 80% of your job, is to be in the right place at the right time. Here on this corner, Jairo Haro coming up from the defense to get into the mix. Look for him to maybe make a play on one of these balls. Unfortunately, kind of floated to the outside, but going back to what you mentioned, Christian Mendoza, we kind of ended the half trying to get in a quick word about him, but he's done such a good job of A, being in the right place at the right time, and B, playing bigger than he is. And the last point I wanted to make about him is he doesn't hesitate. Most goals that are scored on keepers where they get a little frustrated, it's because they can't decide what to do, whether they should stay on their line and try to give themselves more time to react to a ball, or if they should come out, cut off the angle, and try to block the ball that way on more of a reaction, kind of being in the right place. And he's come out, and he's made some amazing saves, just going ahead above everyone else to get a hand on the ball and punch it out. Got to credit him, and that's why he's all league this year.
Leadership's keeper, Venegas, he had to go out to get that one. A bit of a foot race, an opportunity there for Anderson Valley that goes for naught, though, as Leadership manages to have their keeper hold on to the ball. They'll have another shot right here, though. He's got an open range in front of him. He's going to toss it up, try and get almost a little bit of an off-speed kick there.
As Juan Lua with the kick. Couldn't tell if he was trying to chip that one over the keeper or maybe play it across. He had 2 guys coming in on that far side. Either way, keeper doing a good job. David Venegas.
Another opportunity here from the far side, and a jumping stop. What an attempt there. The kick was from Jose Gashila.
Unbelievable save. Talk about reaction time.
Gaschiola, excuse me. What a kick from him, and what a stop, more importantly. Incredible block there from Venegas.
And I like how we just finished talking about the other keeper. It was like Venegas heard us, said, hey, I'm here too.
Another opportunity that's going to get drifted away from anybody who can take a kick at it. Defensively punted away over towards the fan seating area.
Packed house here today, and you got to love it.
It is standing room only. Fans out here enjoying the sun. It's a little crisp, a little cool out there, but a nice day nonetheless. I think it's probably in the high 50s out here.
If somebody was to say, oh, it was a nice fall day, this is exactly what I would expect.
This would
it's
come
beautiful.
to mind. This would come to mind. The sylvan surroundings here up in Boonville. Leadership, they're going to cross over. Excuse me, that's Anderson Valley's crossing over. Leadership manages to answer that call, though, and that was kicked away by Eric Fuentes on Leadership. Strong play by him up the middle to defuse that offensive opportunity by the Panthers.
That was Jose Gaschiola on the far side who had taken that nice shot. It was beautifully saved. Doing some more work down there, putting the ball across to two open Panthers, unable to put it away. That's something where you got to take advantage.
Gasciola's had a strong second half, and he has almost another opportunity right there. Keeper comes out, though. That's Venegas once again. Solid, solid play by Venegas and Gaschiola on Anderson Valley. Griffin trying to hold on to it here at midfield. Leadership's going to try and kick this one away. It looks like Anderson Valley's going to have an opportunity here if they can get set up. And they are. It's over the head of Juan Lua. Lua goes down hard, though. Fans want a card issued for that contact made with Lua. They will not get one. Lua's still slow to get up, and he's actually struggling a little bit. Ball still at center field. They're going to kick this one away. Is out of bounds. Leadership's going to get to throw this one in. Lua looks like he's moving a little better now.
Got to credit Lua. That's a tough one to get up from, and he doesn't want to come off this field. He knows this is the last game of the year. If he comes off, he might not come back on. So he's gonna do everything he can to stay out there, try to get another opportunity on goal.
Leadership's got possession here. They're going to take a kick on the net. It's going to be far to the right, though. It's going to roll behind the net.
And Vladimir Tirado, one of the captains for this Griffin team, taking that ball up, doing a good job of being patient in the box. A lot of the times when that ball gets into the box, and you guys kind of, I don't want to say freak out, but they try too hard to get a shot off, and they rush things, and they don't wait for a quality shot. But doing a good job there. This senior captain, Tirado, for the Leadership Griffin, just hitting it a bit outside.
And Coach Perry, before the team, Coach Perry of Leadership, he was mentioning that he doesn't want his players to just whack it at the net. Just take a hard blast. Speaking of which, there's one right there. That's smartly picked up by Mendoza right in the middle of the net. You don't want to just take a shot. You want to try and place a shot somewhere on the net.
Right.
And that is definitely a soccer skill that these young guys are developing.
And that was, we said his name so many times in the first half, Kevin Flores with that big shot. Saved by Mendoza on the last play.
There's actually another ball out on the field right now. That one is kicked away.
A little smaller.
Spectators sure got a front row view here. We are right along the sideline. And Leadership's going to have it in the middle. They're going to toss it away, though. It's going to go back to the Panthers. Panthers pass to the far side of the field. He manages to get it down. I think that's going to roll out there, and it will. Chasing it down was Gaschiola, who has been really strong this second half.
Yeah, he had a quieter first half, being more of kind of playing in the middle and distributing from there. But early in the second half, as you mentioned, getting into the action and trying to get this team a 2-goal lead here at home. Anderson Valley looking to make it 11 wins on the season today.
Yeah, all the marbles are on the line here. This is the Division III championship here in North Coast section. It's a
Great
big
touch.
section. We have an opportunity here. Anderson Valley, they're crossing over to the middle, looking for someone to outlet that pass to. Could not come up with it, though.
And right in front of us here, Chewy Sanchez putting on a little bit of a show. He's kind of a fun player to watch out there with his skill and speed, as well as being able to pick his head up, being smart about things, knowing when to hold it, when to pass it. But look for him, number 15, Chewy Sanchez, to make a little bit of a difference. He plays at that midfield position.
We are about 10 minutes in Anderson Valley. They still have the 1-0 lead, and they have possession right here. If they can find Gasgiel on the right side, he is prevented from getting at that ball, though, by the Leadership defense. Leadership has it here. Picked off, though, by Anderson Valley. If they can get this one going, it is intercepted, though. Smart play by Leadership's Mora. Mora, another good play to defuse that one. It's picked up, though. Taken down the near side of the field. He's looking for someone to cross over to. That one dribbles away. They're going to whistle it.
Going to call the push there. It's going to be Leadership's way. You can hear Anderson Valley's hometown crowd is not too excited about that call. Either way, it's going to be an Anderson kick, and their guy, Kevin Moore, getting the call on the boot.
Yeah, I think the boos might have been picked up on our microphones a little bit there. They certainly weren't quiet protests. Fans loving this action. I'm loving it. Are you loving it, John Henry?
I can't say I'm not loving it. I mean, beautiful fall day. Watching some quality soccer. I mean, both of these teams, they're here for a reason, and it didn't take long to find out why with that little nifty play there by Vladimir Tirado. But yeah, I'm having a blast up here. This is wonderful.
Yeah, I think two really evenly matched teams, and that just adds a whole new element of fun to it. Uh-oh. That ball errantly given away to Lua. He can't hold on to it, though. That could have been a huge opportunity for Anderson Valley. They almost went up. Another opportunity to go up 2-0 there.
And I think what happens, that ball took a little bit of a funky hop on the grass and bounced up, just hit Lua right on the hand as he's running. Just unfortunate, unlucky, whatever you want to call it. But either way, a big break for Leadership.
Yeah, that's one of the downsides of playing on this natural terrain, that you do get a little bit of divots in the field sometimes, some weird bounces, some weird hops. But that's part of the charm of playing on all grass.
And Kevin Mora is taking a seat out there on the defensive side for Leadership. I think he may have tweaked something on that last defensive play. And when you're hurt, you got to go down like that. And the referee, when he sees you, he'll blow it dead. But
they haven't seen him yet.
Got to wait for that ball to go out of bounds, I think.
Uh-oh, here comes Leadership, comes out, open net if he can get there. Oh, he's just short, my goodness.
It might have just been a diversion. That play that the coach draws up, saying have the defender sit down, everybody kind of draws their attention over there, and all of a sudden, number 20, who we've talked about just a little bit today, Kevin Flores, busting through and doing everything but putting that ball in the back of the net.
Flores was knocking on the door. He was just at such a sharp angle. That ball was rolling in front of me. Had a hard time getting to it. Really sharp angle.
And even though Christian Mendoza didn't make a play on the ball, he wasn't able to make a save technically. He was able to come out and cut the angle off so well that even if Flores was able to get around him, which he did, he had no shot on goal. I mean,
he certainly played a role in how the outcome of that.
Exactly. Yeah, just another point as to why Mendoza was all league this year.
Referees are discussing something over on the Leadership side of the field.
I think the line referee, the line judge on the far side, had noticed that Mora was down, and the center referee was kind of wondering, like, why was he sitting down? So I think that was just quickly explained. And we're going to get a quick substitution. Mora goes off, and number 7, Bayardo Estrada, he's coming back in at the right defensive back position. He was playing more in the midfield in the first half, but it looks like he's actually going to, I think he's running off. So Estrada goes off now, and it's going to be number 16, Marvin Umanzor, playing right defense here for Leadership.
And we're about 15 minutes into the action here. Anderson Valley still is up 1-0, second half of play. D3 championships, it's all on the line for these two teams. Deep kick. And it's going to be picked up by Venegas. Leadership, this is the furthest any of their teams of soccer from anybody in this league. The league they represent, that is, has ever gone. So certainly a lot on the line for them. They're breaking new ground for their team, and they're going to lose the ball here, and it's actually picked back up. Bit of a struggle on the far side. They had an opportunity there, couldn't pan out though for Leadership.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, that Bay Central League, a little bit of a smaller league, but Leadership able to come out on the first year head coaching job by Greg Pieroff. And he's able to bring this team as far, you mentioned, as far as they ever been, and as far as anyone from their league has ever been, representing the BCL out here today, way up in Anderson Valley.
Beautiful Anderson Valley, we should mention. Boonville, California. Wonderful place. Uh-oh, we have something brewing down on the far side of the field. A tassel between a defensive player on Leadership, the goalie Venegas. And there was definitely a contest there. They're going to actually develop a corner kick from that. So they're looking to set something up here. Anderson Valley, that is. Panthers kick is up from the corner. Far side of the net, could not put that one in. Venegas, again, was right there.
And I've got to guess that Venegas was able to get just a finger on that one. He went up as high as he could, and one of the Panthers ended up in the goal. It went off of his head, but it looked like it was just misdirected just enough, so he couldn't get a clear header on it in the back of the net. Almost a lucky outcome for Leadership there.
Here's an opportunity. Kick is, well, that's just wide of the net.
Gaschiola trying to get around on that one, get those hips around. I believe he's right-footed, so he was.
Yeah, he was kind of off-footed on that one, yeah.
Tough thing to ask a player to do, but doing the best he can, just hitting it wide. Yeah, and I don't think that's the last we've heard of him anyway.
Definitely not, but we normally see him strike from the right side, which you're right, that leads me to believe that he is a right-footed kicker.
The last 2 goal kicks for Leadership, not able to get clear that ball out. Almost been like a squib kick, not what you're looking to do from the goal kick.
Here's a shot from Anderson Valley if they can get it on goal. Another one just goes wide to the left.
Chuy Sanchez now trying his luck from the left side.
But at least they're allowing themselves to get down the field and take those whacks, even if they are a little bit off. Fans are certainly proud of their boys out there.
And Hydro Haro is going to be on the goal kick. See if he can get this one kind of where he wants it to go. And when you're taking a goal kick, you either want to send it up and get it out of the back, or you want to play it short and maintain possession of the ball and try to work it up through the middle. But they haven't been able to do either on the last 2 kicks, as we see the right defender, Kevin Mora, coming back into the game.
Almost another opportunity, but that's booted away by Leadership. Once again, that was Mora with a good defensive stand. He positions himself very smartly. He's also got a great right leg, powerful right leg. Here's Anderson Valley. The Panthers are going to make another move towards the middle, and that one is kicked out of bounds defensively by Leadership. And that was Mauricio Martinez, the captain, on Leadership. He's going to kick that one away.
And on the other side of the ball for Anderson Valley, Carlos Espinoza coming up and trying to make something happen. I mean, the last few minutes here, they've really put a strong some strong pressure up top, try to put one away.
Corner kick up. It's going to be stuffed, though, by the leadership defense. Looks like they're just going to get a free one here, John Henry.
Yeah, I'm not sure quite what happened, but it's going to be a free kick for leadership, trying to clear it out and get something rolling. And leadership just not able to, first of all, clear the ball, let alone get some kind of attack or counter attack going.
Anderson Valley's really applying the pressure right now.
Right. That'll be called offsides on the far side. If it doesn't go out of bounds, which it does, it'll be a goal kick. And, I mean, the last few minutes, we've been just staring right into the sun, looking to the left because Anderson Valley has been so dominant, just not letting that ball even cross over the line until they put one away.
Absolutely. They've really been applying it thickly here. Anderson Valley, that is, there looks like they're going to have another opportunity here if they can come up with it. They've just been forcing the ball all the way into leadership's defensive zone for the last few minutes of play here.
Good hustle there on the near side.
Well, the fans certainly aren't pleased with that.
Couldn't quite see what happened there, but leadership, I mean, they're awarded the kick and then they kick it right back to Anderson Valley.
Kept in by leadership, but they're going to give it away. There's Gaschiola here. Real sharp angle if he can get there, and he can't quite make it in time.
And that one's going to be called for offsides. Gaschiola getting a little ahead of himself and behind the defense before that ball was played. Man, and if it wasn't for a couple unlucky breaks for Anderson Valley, the Panthers would have had at least a couple goals here in the last few minutes. Leadership just can't get anything going. They can't even get it out of the back here.
Yeah, it looks like that Anderson Valley is going to come up with it once again. If they can set something up here, leadership's going to poke that one away. Coming right back the other way now is leadership, finally with an opportunity to bring it back down towards Anderson Valley's goal, but that's going to be kicked out. Leadership's going to throw it in. Griffin have it right now.
And that's Kevin Flores checking back.
Haven't heard from Flores in a while.
Yeah, he's really got to get into the play.
Great move by Flores. Sorry to interrupt.
That's fine.
He's going to hold on to it. It's going to be end up kicked away, though. Couple great moves consecutively by Flores. I thought he might be getting away with something there. Go ahead and finish your thought, John Henry.
Yeah, I was going to say Flores and then a couple other guys that were more difference makers in the beginning of this game. Bayardo Estrada has been a little quiet this second half. Kevin Flores, and they've got to ask a couple of guys to really step up here, especially the last few minutes. They've been flat. They haven't been able to get the ball out of the back. They've just kind of been waiting back and trying to kick the ball as Anderson Valley comes at them, as they just did there. And if they're not willing to, everybody kind of work together, you see them kind of walking out of the back here. Really not what you want to see from a team that's down 1-0.
Yeah, the field has just appeared lopsided in the last, 5-6 minutes of play. Definitely tilted towards the leadership goalkeeper. Venegas, though, as we've mentioned, he's managed to keep this a one-goal game.
Right.
If not for a couple big stops by him, I think we could have a bigger differential.
Yeah, I think that's an important point you make. Even though it's been so lopsided, it's still 1-0. It's still right as we started this game, basically 1-0.
It's going to get tossed around in midfield. Anderson Valley, the Panthers, looks like they're going to try and set something up here. If they can get a cross over to the middle, beats a defender, it's crossed. Can he get there one-on-one? And he puts it in the net just like that. Eric Martinez, second goal of the game. What an excellent setup to him. Excellent play on the far side to beat the defender, cross it over to the middle. Anderson Valley is going to go up 2-0.
And Carlos Espinoza, he was the one on that far side, working on the defender, kind of faking going down the line and then cutting it back behind, or excuse me, in front of the defense, kind of right to the top of that box, where the sprinting Eric Martinez is coming in. He's able to trap it perfectly right in the gut, kind of deadens the ball, and Venegas just had no chance to take that one away. Going up 2-0 is Anderson Valley.
Yeah, one-on-one, that makes it a 50-50 chance if it's just you versus the keeper. PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for soccer, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives here. Ball's coming right for our laptop. Great stop by keeper John Henry. Also, stay tuned for our PlayOnSports.com post-game show where we will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game. That'll be coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Of course, I'm Andrew Lockhart alongside John Henry here, who just made an excellent stop.
Or we might not be broadcasting right now.
Yeah, you might be hearing static and seeing little bunnies bouncing around on your screen. Anderson Valley's just took a 2-0 lead over Leadership. This is the D3 Championships. Up in the North Coast section here. We're in Boonville at Anderson Valley High School at Tom Smith Field.
And it was almost something that goal was, you could have said they were going to score a goal in the next couple minutes. Anderson Valley just putting all the pressure on. Leadership wasn't even able to get the ball out of the back, let alone surmount any kind of attack. And just the brilliant play there. Anderson Valley bringing that ball up, and Martinez with the finish, his second of the day. And that one's, it's going to be tough now for Leadership to get anything going.
Yeah, almost the product of determination, I think, on Anderson Valley's side, because they've really applied the pressure hot and heavy for a sustained amount of time there, and I think that's the goal that is the end product of all that.
Right.
Let's go Panthers!
Either way, though, Leadership looking to answer back. They had a couple good chances early on. Those have diminished as this game has developed. I think Anderson Valley is really starting to assert themselves on the field.
And now Leadership kind of moving it up the side here, back and forth, back and forth. They're going to be awarded a throw-in. First time really in the last few minutes that they've had anything going. A little bit of space to work with here now.
Well, Leadership, they have the ball right up the middle right now. That ball kicked away. It's going to go wide. And Mendoza's going to get a hand on it, and he's going to control it, actually. And, you know, we're about to 35 minutes in, John Henry, so the clock is going to become a time factor for Leadership because they're going to need to put up some goals and put them up quick.
Yeah, they've got to be able to flip that switch back to how they played that first half, save the first couple minutes, because they really just look like a different team, and it might be that they were just kind of breaking under the Anderson Valley pressure that the Panthers have been able to put on. But the Griffin need to figure out what change needs to be made, and if they don't change anything soon, we're going to be left with the same score or worse.
Anderson Valley, if they can get a cross over here, almost an opportunity for a kick. Could not come up with it, though. Keeper was down. They had him laid out in an open net, but could not get the kick off. Fans wanted penalty issued. It's not going to happen, though. Leadership pushes the ball back into Anderson Valley's defensive territory. See if they can hold on to it here. They haven't had many good opportunities in a while.
And the difference, I mean, Leadership's not really, they haven't been able to put any kind of passes together here without the high pressure of Anderson Valley getting in the way, whether it's just a toe or a slew of defenders. Anderson Valley's doing a great job of maintaining that high pressure and not letting Leadership get anything going.
Yeah, the defense of the Panthers, they've really kicked it up the last 10 minutes or so. They've really just stuffed any sort of opportunities that Leadership has had.
And Kevin Flores working his butt off out there, man. He's trying to almost do it all himself, it looks like, but he is awarded a corner kick there. And if Leadership can sneak one in here, they're right back in this.
Kicks up.
Unbelievable.
Get there.
Unbelievable.
Holy smokes.
I'm gonna guess that Mendoza's what, 5'5", 5'6", and he goes up over everybody. Somehow gets two hands on the ball, catches it, and holds on to it coming down. I mean, if you're a wide receiver in the NFL, that's a tough catch to make, let alone here in soccer. I mean, what a play by Mendoza,
No, she went to
keeping this Anderson Valley team with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Certainly did a barrel roll on the way down, too. Quite a maneuver, and I'm impressed he managed to hold on to that ball, not
Right.
only to get that ball in the first place, but to hold on to it.
Hey, he knows what's at stake, and he's not going to let that ball go for anything.
He certainly brought his A game here today. He's going to hold on to it once again. Still looking at a 2-0 lead, Anderson Valley up. Leadership running out of time. Second half of play here. D3 championships on the line. Booted deep down the field. Galiosha can get to this, and he will lose the contest to Venegas. Venegas comes way out to get a piece of that one.
Gaschiola been so dangerous this second half, and even though he hasn't scored, I mean, he's been such a force and a threat up there that's really opened up the field for guys like Martinez to put those goals in.
Yeah, he's been a bit of a lightning rod. He's drawing a lot of attention. Here's another opportunity, intercepted by Venegas. Comes out and just picks off that pass play. Otherwise, that would have been wide open to Gaschiola with an open net, too. Leadership's comebacks right the other way, though. They're trying to set something up from the near corner, trying to cross over. See if they can find a man here. It's picked up, though, defensively kicked away. Leadership's going to have a shot, though. Handed over to Anderson Valley. Leadership, they can apply pressure here once again. Looks like they're going to lose it over to Anderson Valley. Anderson Valley's going to get it back deep, and it's going to go right back the other way. See if they can set up for this one. There's Gaschiola with so many solid opportunities. Kicked away by Leadership. Oh, he's going to play that one off of his face. Good job.
And Moore doing a great job with those tackles. Just unfortunately, that one's chipped up and hit him right in the hand. It's going to be Gaschiola on the free kick here, just trying to float one in, challenge the keeper, sneak one by.
It's deep to the far side, almost going towards the flag in the corner. They're going to toss it back in, though. No one is there as that ball crosses the plane in front of the goal. Roll back out of bounds. It looks like it's going to go back the other way. Goalkeeper will have it. So Leadership on the receiving end of some dangerous plays there.
And we've got to be reaching the end of this game just a couple minutes as we have a substitution on the Leadership side. Looks like Eduardo Sanchez is coming back in on that forward position. Hopefully got some fresh legs, can make something happen.
Gaschiola picks it off. Front of the net, beats one man. He's pushed far to the right side, though. His kick was blocked. And that was Darwin Zaldana getting right in front of that. Good play by him.
And we haven't mentioned his name too much tonight, but Zaldana doing a great job being solid in the back for this Leadership defense. Just trying to thwart the Anderson Valley attack. And in this second half, you can save 8 or 10 or 12 of the attacks, but that one that slips by, man, it's so tough to be on your guard and stop all of these attackers from the Panthers.
Leadership looking to make a strike here. Can't quite hold on to it. It looks like they're going to try and make a play on it. That's going to get kicked away back to midfield. Looks like they're just struggling to maintain possession of the ball here. Anderson Valley, that's part of their game plan, is to play that possession game, and it certainly seems like they've done a good job establishing that in the second half.
Yeah, and on the other side of that, you got to maintain the possession, but when you don't have it, you got to have high pressure, and that's the thing that's really stuck out to me this second half. They haven't not had the ball very often.
Either way, that success formula has been working for Anderson Valley as they are still up 2-0 with time winding down on the clock. Not a whole lot left here. Wind's picking up a little bit. Sun continues to encroach downward behind the mountainscape in the background here. Hopefully you can see this at home on your screen. It's a beautiful view here at Tom Smith Field. Leadership's going to headbutt that one down. Venegas is going to have, excuse me, not Venegas, Mendoza is going to have no problem handling that one. Here we go. Gacciola with another opportunity if he can beat the keeper. Not quite.
Venegas doing a great job of coming out. Again, just kind of deciding that he's going to make a save on that one. Picking that right off of Gacciola's foot.
Trapped by leadership. Here we go, though. Gacciola once again. If he can make it to this one. Good toss right down the middle. Excuse me, that was not Gacciola. That was Edson Ferreira, I believe.
And he was looking for Gacciola on that cross. Nicely defended again by the leadership defense, just doing such an outstanding job. Even though they've let in 2 goals, they've been a hard-earned 2 goals.
That one's going to be whistled. Looks like leadership's going to have it.
Vladimir Tirado is trying to control that ball. And again, this natural grass field, that one bounced a little to the side, and he tried to play the sly, you know, just going to keep my arm at my side. But that obviously hit him in the arm, and free kick going the other way.
Panthers have it, that is. Leadership's going to boot it away. He's going to dribble out on the far side over by the leadership bench and toss it overhead. He's trying to find an outlet, see if he can get one. Keeper comes way out. A little bit of contact made there. Mendoza drifting far out of his net to come up with that one. Big boot. It's going to get tossed around a little bit right in the midfield. Leadership's trying to set something up here. As we mentioned, you can't really force it. You just have to go out there and try and get your opportunities where they come. Play your game. Here's leadership defensively. They got 1 man applying pressure for him and only 1 man out there. So leadership's going to go ahead and pick that off from him. About 3-man coverage on him.
Estrada now on the far side.
Estrada's in the far corner. See if he can get across. It's going to go into the near side and the corner there.
And we're looking for the call here, folks. I think it's going to be a throw-in for leadership. And they're going to switch it over. And
it
they're
will
going
be
to
leadership.
switch it back to leadership. Okay.
They're going to punt it up, and it's going to be kicked away defensively. It's actually going to take a curve. It might roll inbounds, and it looks like that's what it's going to do. Goalkeeper's way up. He's going to have an opportunity here. It's a real sharp angle for Anderson Valley. Punted up, and it's going to roll, and it's going to go in. Wow. What a bounce, and what a shot by Carlos Espinoza. He had a heck of a foot race. That ball was right in front of us, John Henry.
Oh, my goodness.
It took such a favorable roll right along the line to stay in bounds.
And I guess you have to give the assist there to whoever cleared that out on the back line for Anderson Valley. But oh my goodness, I saw the look in his eye, Carlos Espinoza. The ball's rolling right here. He looks up and he sees the keeper coming at him, and he kind of stuck his tongue out and did one of those like, I'm gonna score right here. And he just touched it past the keeper, Venegas, and after that there was nobody gonna catch him. And gotta credit the guy, not just doing 99% of the work, but putting that final touch, final frosting on the cake with the goal, the 3rd goal for Anderson Valley. First one for Carlos Espinoza, and man, has he earned it here this second half. He's come out and had so many chances, making so many opportunities for himself and for his teammates, and they're just doing a great job of just working his butt off. That's all it was.
Yeah, you could see the glint in his eyes when he saw that ball take the roll that he did. And you saw the keeper come way out. Venegas nearly at midfield trying to make the stop on that. Once he had Venegas beat, just a matter of getting that right angle shot before it rolled too far out. Good job by Espinosa, though. Either way, that one's going to put this one, I believe, out of reach for Leadership, as there is not a whole lot of time left in this game.
Yeah, I think you said it. That second goal put Leadership in kind of a tough position, but you know, you're down 2-0, you put one in, and all of a sudden you're right back in the game. But when you're down 3-0 with just about, we're guessing about a minute left here, maybe some injury time, it's going to be tough to come back here.
Yeah, all but out of reach, I think, for Leadership. But I'll tell you, Anderson Valley really earned the kind of goals that they got in the second half. They have just played with tremendous amount of force the second half of this game. They really came out swinging after a very even first half of play.
Right, this game from the first half looked like we might see 1-2 more goals and it'd be a 1-goal game, but all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Anderson Valley just flipping that switch, and Leadership not able to contain the 3, 4, the 5 attackers. It seems like that Anderson Valley always has on the field.
Leadership still putting up a fight right now. Though the Panthers are going to come right back the other way. It's like they might actually have another opportunity here. Good slide tackle to defuse that situation. I believe that was Mora once again. That was Kevin Mora with another great slide tackle.
Kevin Flores trying to make something happen for this Leadership squad.
Something does. I think it's going to be the product of Flores. He's quite the spark plug for his team. Anderson Valley, almost another opportunity here. That's going to be kicked away. Leadership maintains possession defensively. That ball just whacked out right into the crowd.
Flores is going to be on the ball for the throw-in.
Whistle is blown as that is going to be it. Anderson Valley is going to win by a final score of 3-0 over Leadership, and they are going to win the North Coast Division III Men's Soccer Championship. What a game, John Henry.
I can't believe this second half that Anderson Valley came out the way that they did. I mean, just such an amazing job. Just their guys just really stepping it up. I mean, I don't know what the coach said at halftime, but it was something to the effect of, look at the crowd that's out here to watch you guys. They're not out here to watch you lose, and you're at your home field. You've got everything to win and nothing to lose. This is your game to win. Go out there and take it. And that's exactly what they did. They put on so much pressure that even if Leadership was able to save a couple of those good shots they had, they can't save them all.
And I hope you can hear how excited the fans are in the background here as they're going to proceed to do an award ceremony here. And thank you for listening so much. This is PlayOnSports.com. We're going to step aside for just a minute. We're going to try and grab our player of the game, and we're going to wrap all the action up here in just a few minutes with our post game. Back in just a moment here on PlayOnSports.com.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Back to the PlayOnSports.com postgame show. I'm here with Eric Martinez, the player of the game who scored 2 goals for this championship team. Eric, I have to ask you, in front of all your fans at home today, how did it feel to score 2 goals in a championship game?
Well, it's really nice, but the teamwork is the one that give us the championship, and all my partners have to help, and we win.
Yeah. Your keeper today was unbelievable. The goalie for you, he had a shutout, and he made some amazing saves. How crucial is that to win a championship with a good keeper? How important is he?
Well, he is the main one of the main players. He is important in the team too, so he did a great job, and that's why we win.
Very cool. So on that first goal, we kind of want to walk through it. What happened there? It was like the first 2 minutes of the game, and all of a sudden the goal's in the back of the net. Can you explain kind of what happened?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I just wanted to score the goal, and it comes, and the goal was in.
And the ball was in the nets. That's all that matters. And the second goal was a beautiful goal. At halftime, coach must have said something, but there was a beautiful cross across the middle, and you came flying in. Can you kind of explain how you were able to control everything there?
Well, I don't know neither. Like, just I wanted to stop it, but the ball was in front of me, and just I kick it in front of the goalie.
It was a beautiful goal. And the last question for you, what did coach tell you at halftime to kind of spark you? Because that second half was amazing for you guys.
Yeah, just to keep it up and don't be mad with my partners and make good passes and keep running and everything.
All right. Well, Eric Martinez here, our player of the game here on PlayOnSports.com. You heard it from him. It took teamwork, and he's proud of his team for how the game went today. Congratulations, Eric.
Thank you.
You're the championship in this Northern Section, California. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with the post-game show, finishing up today's wrap-up, and that'll be it here from PlayOnSports.com. Don't go anywhere.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Welcome back to PlayOnSports.com. We just saw Anderson Valley defeat Leadership in this D3 champion matchup in the North Coast section by a final score of 3-0. John Henry, tell us a little bit of what we saw out there.
I mean, you guys were at home. You and me, we were able to watch it, Andrew. It was
right up front.
Yeah, front row. Such an exciting game to watch. This Anderson Valley team kind of showed why they were a 10-win team. They played some amazing soccer out there, and they were really able to assert that more possessive style in that second half. You heard it from Eric. I mean, what did the coach say at halftime? He said, stop getting upset with yourselves and with your teammates. I think that's what Eric was trying to say. There might have been some kind of dissension between the players out there saying, hey, you need to pass the ball better, but instead be able to trust each other out there and play together as a team, because if it's one person trying to make things happen, it's not going to get it done.
Well, soccer by definition is not a one-man game. It is a team sport, almost more so than other sports. But I'll tell you, I agree with your conclusion there. The first half of the game, it was a bit neck and neck. I don't think either team was really out of it at that point. Only a one-goal game. I think it was up in the air. But then in the second half, Anderson Valley, the Panthers just ran away with it and played a possessive game. And they played, obviously, an offensive game. Defensively, they were on top of it too, but it almost seemed like the field was lopsided at one point because they were just applying so much pressure.
Right. Leadership wasn't able to clear the ball even. We've said it so many times, to get it out, let alone try to surmount some kind of attack with bodies moving forward, because every time they cleared the ball out, they took this big, deep breath, almost kind of like, finally we got it. And then they turn around and the balls come right back at them from Anderson Valley, from numerous attackers. I mean, we could have had a few players at the game from Anderson Valley. They're a very talented team, and they're only losing a few guys, so they're going to be back next year. I wouldn't be surprised if we're back up here with them.
Well, hey, Anderson Valley, they've been great hosts. We're up here in Boonville, California, and that'll wrap it up for all the action we have for you on PlayOnSports.com for this game. Anderson Valley is going to go with a 3-0 win over Leadership, and that will be the story of the championship game here in Division III men's soccer from the North Coast section. I'm Andrew Lockhart for John Henry, Jared Nelson behind the camera. Thanks for tuning in, and thank you for joining us here at PlayOnSports.com, your home for high school sports.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.